Hello and welcome back to another episode of Fossils and Archaeology. And we're starting today's episode off with a fair bit of progress already done. I got too excited between episodes. Like I said last time, I really want to get the world feeling like a world. So I have time-lapsed it like you just saw, but let's walk and talk about what we've actually done. Alright, so this is the backside of the lab, right? The front access of the lab is meant to be down the other way, which is why we've got our central skeleton facing the other side of the building. So this is meant to be a bit of our behind-the-scenes maintenance area. It's why our caretaker's cottage is here. So we have got a path, a main path, leading this way. Now, I initially wanted to run it from the lab straight over to the house, to the cottage, and then I had an idea about more we can do with this back space behind the lab. So I've actually got it running the other way. We've got our hedge lining it, and then we've got a offshoot path towards the house. This is not where the main workforce is going. This is where we go. This is our path, and ours alone, pretty much. So it's a bit more rough around the edges, a bit more of the gravel, a bit less of the strong pavement going on. We've got these wonderful grass-topped walls, and then obviously down to our house. We have swapped out the bamboo that we had growing here just temporarily and actually replaced it with a bit of a cottage garden feel. The sugarcane may still go, but it just adds a nice sort of backdrop to the build, I think, which is needed. These are just simple, normal Mega Tiger spruce trees. These two in the back were as well, but they were silly. They only had little tiny leaves in the top. As you saw in the time lapse, I think it's in there for a little bit. So I have beefed them up with more leaves, and then to give them a bit more detail, we've got some of these spruce fence gates to make it look like we've got little twigs and branches and stuff. So they are more of a custom tree because they looked very bland before. And we don't want to, if I leave it like it was, it'll never get improved. So that is a decent state to leave it at. I quite like this little hole here. This to me I see as a little bird's nest from down here. It looks like a little, you can imagine little baby birds up there ready to fledge and leave the nest. And so if we come back down this way, you can see we've extended the farm. We don't really need this, but it is nice aesthetically. So a good use of the space is the 3 tiers. So we've got our original wheat grain farm that's at the top there. The next layer down is our carrots, and the bottom layer are our potatoes, which naturally, if it's going to rain, obviously your water's going to flow down and sit here more in this sort of deeply rooted ground stuff. So I don't know, it made sense to me to put your spuds down there. Where they're not going to be washed over and trampled like the wheat maybe. I don't know if potatoes need that much water. I don't actually know. That was my thinking behind it, at least. And then just the typical trapdoor wall for people who don't know what they're doing with that. This bamboo forest here may stay or go. It was originally all the way up here, as you may have seen in the video, but I cut it back, and I'm continuing to cut it back because if we take a look back, it's got a similar problem as the sugarcane, where see how highly saturated it is compared to everything else in the area. Your eye naturally wants to magnetize to it because it is the brightest point of the scene. So unfortunately, I might cut it back. I'm happy with where it is here now, but I may still cut it back in time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Still, as you saw, the Spinosaurus skeleton glitch I've not managed to resolve. More of our Zamites here, just a nice bit of garden here. This feels like a nice grand scene up there now, which I'm happy with. Our path continues, a fun little retaining wall I've built with a garden that I originally had lots of these in, but same deal, they're just too bright when you've got lots of them together. They're too saturated, so we'll probably mix it out with some more of these more dull flowers. We need a way to light the paths up, so you probably noticed down on the home paths we had lanterns because they just feel a bit more homely. Down here where this worker path is, it didn't feel right. I've got lamps for now. I don't love that either. They're okay where they are, but we don't have a nice design to have them running all the way down, so we'll work on that as well. And then coming down this way, well, the path continues quite nice. I'm very happy that it managed to fit pretty much exactly under the tree. It's got this nice, comfortable feeling. For Minecraft, for me, you need to have overhangs. You need to have things overhanging your builds, your paths. You need to feel like you're fully engrossed in the world. And it adds to the silhouette, and it's the when you walk under it, it's such a nice, comfortable feel. I really enjoy watching people's videos, and they've got a little tunnel through a build or something. I don't know. It's a little bit of what I enjoy about this game, and I'm glad that worked out. But this path down here, you may be wondering, why do we have the straight path running this way? Well, it does seem a bit useless, doesn't it, right now? Here's the idea. Running up this way, we are going to have the path over time continue. You can see where it's sort of flattened out. We'll bridge it across here so it's flat. Probably snake it down and around here. And then this area here is going to be a new big theme park building for staff only. And it'll be something that you can view from back in the park. And what it's going to be is our control room. So our control room in theme parks is basically where they run our operations from. So they'll have a control room. And if you've seen Jurassic World, it's where they have the breakdown about the Indominus getting out and watching all the screens to the staff. That's the control room. And it's very cool and it's very fun. And I think this is a good spot to have one because it's going to be part of the skyline of our park, because eventually we'll obviously, we can see the park down there. It'll fill out and build into this area. And there's a plan for this here and for this big natural lagoon here. Yeah, you can work out what's going there. But in good time. The other end of our path, so you can see it'll be a nice continuation. Down this other side, we have our little caretaker village, right? We've got our nether portal here. We've got our sugarcane there. We've also in the very back, I've done a little bit of work because we needed our tools. So you can see mendings on the bottom of that. So down in, let's just fly down. It's going to be quicker and easier. There was a small fire from the lava, but we have got a mending villager in here. So this guy is trading us mending books. Took a while to set that up, but happy to have done that now. It's just, you've seen that a million times. You don't want to see it again in this particular world. We are needing to sleep again already. Disappointing how short we have yapped for a whole day. Our mine's down here as well. So basically the idea with this village is, well, let me sleep and then you can see it better. So the idea with our little caretaker village down here is that it'll actually become a workers' village, much like in Jurassic Park 2 and 3, actually. They've got worker villages in both those movies. Effectively, all the people who work here in the park, they need, well, to be able to commute to and from work. And if we're a remote, which is where, dinosaur parks tend to be, they need to live somewhere nearby. So they live on site. So our scientists and our control room staff and anyone else who works here, we will basically convert this area here into an actual village for the workers to live in. And this path will continue down. It'll probably actually form a bridge because I want this river to continue around. It's currently somewhat impeded by this. It doesn't feel very natural. And the workers will be able to obviously get up to work through this path. But also down this way, something I really am excited to do is building a set of docks here where we would be obtaining resources from. And the workers can offload it into storage bays and all sorts of other stuff we can have scattered around. So that's the idea. This big grassy hill, still no clue what we're going to do with that. It's nice for camera shots. That is one thing it is nice for. But at this point in time, no plans for this. Might just pop a couple of trees on it so it doesn't look so barren for the meantime. So that's how we've started. We've also got to get to the goal of today's episode. Oh, one other thing too. You've probably noticed I have a bunch of food. Cooked pork chops. Where did these come from? We didn't have any pig farms around here. And you're not offering any to trade either. So what we did is we did one of those typical nether roof hogland farms. So you basically, as you see here, you find a patch of the nether roof. You need to find a block that's at Y127. You ladder up to it. You can then ender pearl through to the roof. And then when you're up on the roof, you can punch a hole in the bedrock with a very, very fancy machine by Shulkercraft, which a few people have done by now, to be able to build a ladder up and down, as you see here. And then we built the farm, and that's how we've managed to get all of our cooked pork chops. So now we have food sorted for the series, which is So good and useful. All right. So food sorted. Back of house path sorted. Now we need to do front of house. As front of house as it can get, actually. And now we're down at the park entrance. So this is where we're going to be doing the bulk of today's episode. Well, I hope. And I'm very excited to be doing my favorite part of the game, as you can guess, is building. Oh boy, I can't wait. I'm very excited. This little project should make everything feel like we've got the ball rolling now, with a theme park ready to build. The idea we've got is we are going to have down here the entrance of the park. In through this valley, you will ride in and enter. On probably, originally I did say it was going to be maybe a canoe, but I think now it's going to be something like a simple monorail station. And this little town here can serve, once again, down the line. You guys want to see dinosaurs, and I want to build stuff, so we'll do a hybrid of stuff through the series. This is an ocean, a huge big ocean. People will come on their boats, on their cruises, as they will, and arrive to our park in this, it'll be a dock, as it already is now, but fancified. You'll pay your entry ticket fee if you've not paid it at the other end of the voyage, and then you'll catch the monorail through the entrance of the park down between these two valleys. You'll go through the park gates down through here, and then as you get off the ride, look, nothing too fancy. I couldn't think of anything too fancy, particularly with the space we're going to work with. So for now, it is just going to pull in. You will disembark and you'll be in an entrance plaza. And from this plaza, you can ascend up to a shuttle and ride that around to the far side of the park. Or you can come down and start to explore the park from here. I really want to have a main street somewhere. And I could have had a main street here, but the orientation would have favored Main Street to run at a 90-degree angle towards the lab, which we can still do, and then have everything branch out this way. I'm not sure. At this stage, this potentially could be a big Sarcosuchus enclosure, or we could wall it off and make it Main Street. Level it out and make it Main Street. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm not too worried about where enclosures will go because I am more than happy to terraform any bit of land to create enclosures. I ain't got them aquatic, okay. But Main Street and big fancy theme park buildings, you only really get to do that properly once, I think. Because from there you kind of, that's a hard framework. That's far more investment than something like that enclosure, where I can easily shave off and make it shorter or make it longer. Having to completely tear down an entire building that would be there, very painful. So today's goal is to set up the entry plaza and get it ready for an enclosure we're going to have in the middle, which will be next episode's, well, idea. And it'll be just about right where we're standing now. So let's start with, I think we're going to start with laying down our monorail. And I really am second guessing what the entrance to a park should look like. Like, some theme parks are very simple in how you enter them. And others are very grandiose. I'm obviously not in a country where I can go to Disneyland, if you haven't picked that up already. So I don't know how Disneyland does it. And now I want to Google. Let me Google. Oh, what am I worrying about? I just had a look at the Disneyland entrance. It's not that big. It's not a big drama. Okay, so we are going to lay down our little rail. I think what we've got in mind is going to be just fine. The bulk of the theme park is going to be the grandiose part. The entrance, don't linger there for too long. Go on, get out and explore the park, right? So we don't want to make it grand and take ages to get out of the initial cart into the park. We want to get you in there quick. So I'm quite happy to have the smaller entry plaza. I'm just thinking. No, I'm overthinking. Let's start building things, and then the sense of scale will come to us. I think I want the track to run along this here. At this height, I don't know. But maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower. This lava's insane. And I'm really fighting to tear it down. But I will when I build the park entrance. We're not technically building the entrance today. We're building an entry plaza. So we can... You see how I guess I'm down here anyway now. See how we just broke these blocks and I immediately placed them back? How annoying is that? How annoying is that? The entry plaza. And this is not the final look for the rail. I'm just laying it down to get it in my head, a sense of scale of everything. You know what I hate? In the real world, it would never be a right angle, but it's Minecraft, and doing a diagonal in this game on a minecart is so painful. So painful. Just as painful as me not, relieving. I did not leave enough blocks for me to be doing this. That is annoying. That is annoying. Where are my other tracks? Where are my other tracks? Honey, where's my super suit? Oh, they're there. Thank the goodness. Okay. Let's quickly lay these down, shall we? What we need to do now is something a little bit unfortunate for these townsfolk. Destroy the town. And just like that, it's all cleared. And a little bit more as well. I decided to really level it out because it's gonna make things a whole lot easier for us. So I was in a testing world and I have done a bit of digging and decided what block type I want to use. And as you can see, it's granite. Not what I initially planned on, but I think actually is going to be the smart choice in the end because it's the vibe we had over here. So I caved. I've gone to granite. And I caved in multiple ways because I have so much granite and I also bit the bullet. I have vein miner now. Something I've never really liked in this game. I think mainly because I've seen too many good builds get accidentally destroyed, but I think those days are long gone. Vein miner seems far better integrated in the game now. And I needed lots of blocks. And I mean lots of blocks. So we are going to just build out the plaza. It's not going to take very long because we've got builder's wands. And then from there, well, we'll do a few other little detail things. But building up the plaza is going to be a multi-episode project because we're going to have some really fun buildings here. But let's start with the good stuff, shall we? We need to actually lay the blocks down. So I'm just gonna go for it. One other thing. Nope, no other thing. That's called derailing. No side quests. Let's just lay this down, shall we? Are you ready for the fun bit? Oh, I'm so ready for the fun bit. Oh no, wait, hang on. I need to get rid of all these silly little grasses. All of these stupid... We don't have a water bucket on us. That's fine. There's not too many of them. There are some that are a little bit further away than we would like. Last 2 bits of grass done. Gone. The day's nearly done. But let's have some fun. Oh no, hang on. We need to... this one. Area. Yes. Yes, that's what we want. We don't have to... Yes, that's what we want. Oh, yes. So good. So good. Look at the... I ran out of blocks. Already? Well, that's a concern. Let's try again. I don't have a whole lot of confidence that I've actually got enough blocks now, because I thought for sure we'd make it at least halfway with what we had. But I suppose this is a big surface area. Let's catch these 2 up. Let's see... Oh dear, let's see how long these last without making an accident. Crikey. Oh no. No. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. I need to do more mining. Alright, I've decided to round it off a little bit shorter because we have somehow run out of granite again, but also this path needs to be wider. I know I spent some time deliberating, that's the word, deliberating in the last episode about whether it should be too wide or too narrow, or what do we want the field to be like, and last time I went too wide. This is too narrow. We're going to 5 blocks wide again, which means that this is no longer in the middle, and it means that the roundabout's going to be a lot bigger, probably down to this edge we have now. So I think this is a fine amount of blocks. The next thing we need to go through now is to texture this field of sameness, and do some things that will break it up. It only looks so bad right now, and it does look very bad right now, the massive ham slice. Eee. The ham slice won't look like a ham slice for too long, hopefully. We need to do some things to make it look interesting. So natural block variation is the first thing. The edge of the slice will have some buildings jutted around it as well. This may even be a viewing platform over the lake, I'm thinking. Lake? River? Over the river? Yeah, that's a river. And I can do a little couple. I could do some footprint stuff today. Next episode, we're putting an enclosure in the middle of this. So, you know, that's fun. You can stick around to see that in the next one. And I'm tempted to try and do some sort of shape in the plaza area. So we'll see what happens. Let's not bite off too much more than we can chew and start with what we said we would do. Let's texture. And place these last blocks down. The real test is... Oh, that's really annoying. That's so annoying. We're literally 1 block short. Dang. These guys have heads of this stuff. Look at them. They blend in so well with it. I should just grab one of them and just squish him into the ground here, and that'll solve the problem. Alright, well, time to get even more granite and to texture this thing up, shall we? Alright, friends, we are back. We have updated the ham slice. The ham slice now has a bit of natural variation to it. It looks less hammy and a bit more plaza-y now, I hope, which is good. We mixed in some stone bricks and some raw granite, both from the chisel mod. Is it chisel? Chipped? Chisel. Yep, it's chisel. Chipped, for some reason, wouldn't work for me with jungle planks. Who knows why. Anyway, ham slice has been updated, right? Next, we're going to pop in the little roundabout, and we're going to... Well, you can see I've already changed this road to the new style and widened it. I still like the old style. It'll come back somewhere, but this just, for congruency, needs to match, I think. What do you think, Mr. Plaza Boy? Huh? Plaza Boy? Huh? Okay. Well, we do have some rogue villagers still wandering around. I think today, look, it's. I need to get this thing uploaded tomorrow, and it is 9:45 p.m. and I still need to edit and render and upload and make a thumbnail. So I think today's episode is nearing its end point. So you may not see too much work on this, but I will quickly, you know, you've seen lots of time lapses. I'll quickly chuck in a roundabout using a circle generator and build some paths out, and we'll make some little details to this so that it doesn't look like, well, I am sliced no more. There's no pressure to get this right. It's only the most fundamental, foundational starting point that forms the entire park. We've got to get this right. That's more like it. These guys are just having a meeting about how good the new circle looks. How good? How good? Alright, I think the size is right. I think the distance to this wall is good. I think I've decided I'm going to build this up and maybe arc it over, I'm thinking. I think it's a good distance to that. We've got our line right down here. We're a good distance between this. We're not directly in the middle, which is, you know, maybe would be good, but I didn't exactly want it to be entirely central. It was a little bit further before, but it was not too far, which is what I didn't want it to be right down one end or the other. That'd be a bit silly. But it's in a pretty good spot, and you can imagine walking down through here, you know, if all the people funnel through here, and then you get to this sort of, you know, it opens up here, and you can work out where to go without being in people's way and steps. And if we really wanted to, we could put a statue or something in the middle here, like a, you know, a 3x3, would be fine, and we can still get around that in the middle, which I think is good. Oh, this is in the back burner. Back of the brain. All right, let's run some paths down, and most excitingly, connect it up so that we have Dippy linked up. Oh boy, I can't wait. It's also about to be sleepy time, so let's get the bed ready. What do you think? I reckon that is a goer. I reckon that's pretty good. Did I just say that? I think I did. You can get a real good feel now. Like, oh boy, we have some progress. We are progressing nicely. I just already want to build little things off to the side of these branches. Oh, this is working a treat. This is doing exactly what I want. We want to make this place feel iconic, which I think it is slowly coming around to, which is good. This has really helped a lot. There's two more things I want to do. One of them is some staircases, just to frame stuff in. This empty, screenshot, this empty spot here will get one, and I'll probably get one here. But the other thing I've decided I need is some sort of transition from the plaza into the park. And I think we need an archway here. I think that's what we need. What that should look like is a brilliant question. I have no idea. And I very well, look, I'll give it I guess I'll give it a go. I don't think this is going to stick, but we'll just do something for now. So that the thumbnail looks good. There's a chance even that this will change from what's on the thumbnail. Is that the same height? They are the same height. Is that even what we want? We're going to need it to be a 4x4, a 4x4. That's 16 blocks. No, a 2x2 is what we want, I think. Oh, okay, that's fun. I think that is more like what we want. But what we're going to do when we get to the top, I don't know. That's fine. This may not be the right block for this either, like the color palette of white. But what I want is, I think I want the rough color palette for air quote unquote marketing for the park to look like, let's work smart, not hard. I think something I've decided is I really want all the marketing stuff in air quotes for the park to be like of the same color palette. And I think what I want that color palette to be is white. Actually, pretty much exactly what you see in my player arm. Down here, the Gobspout green, if you will, the white and some teal, but the teal more so like what's on the diamond tools, through sort of these three colors here. That's the idea of what I want. How to blend those together? It's very fluoro, I know, but I think that is just got to. We're gonna give it a go. Should these just be big flaming pillars, or should we have it be an arch? There's so many things we could be doing with this. All right, I spent about half hour doing a bit of fiddling, and this is what I've come up with. It's not 100%, but I don't mind it. I think it does a good enough job. All right, I don't know how I feel about the banners and the skulls. These are subject to change. If you have any feedback for that, let me know. But I think that captures our colors we want well. I'm not 100% set on the design, but I think what makes this most sort of theme parky are the two like Brachiosaurus necks on the archway that you walk under, which is pretty good. The back needs a bit of work, but that's fine. We can do that down the line. We can adjust that. I was going to mirror these, but then I realized that they were going to be butting, like as in they will meet in the middle, and then it may not look like a long-necked dinosaur anymore. So I need to do something different on the other side, but that's fine. I can either do the tail or I can do something else. I can do something else on the other side, and I'm not too worried about it. All right, well, that's that done. Look, every time I start to record again, there's about a minute left of the day, and I hate it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I really am considering this maybe... I really am considering potentially turning off the daylight cycle because I'm sick of the night. I'm sick of the night. I don't need it for anything. It just wastes my time. Although it does, I think, track the days, but that's just nothing. It saves me so much hassle. It means the time lapses don't put people in epileptic fits because it's going to dark and bright when they go through really quick. It just seems like a smart thing to do. Well, we need to build. I think that's going to be too far, actually. As an experiment, that's the width we're looking at. One more, probably one more. Is that too much? Gee, it's a bit hard to tell, isn't it? That is 2 blocks too much. 3 blocks too much, even. 1, 2, 3. That is what we want. Righto. I already know what I need to change. It's too steep. It's too steep. I think we need it to be graduating. So we could do it as a half-block staircase, or we could do every alternating block we have a stair block. So, like, you would do this. Actually, let's just do it from the other side. You would do this, then this. This, then this. Okay, interesting. It brings us to sort of exactly where we wanted to go, I think. There is a zombie coming for me. But I think that is what we want. We just may want to bring it forward a block, I think. Or forward 2 blocks, maybe. Let's get... Ooh. That was close. Well, I know the left is not what we want. I think we want to do the right, but one more block down. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Huh? So we come in on this platform. We'll rejig this down the line. This is all just temporary. But you would come in on the train line from the front docks and disembark here, entering into the plaza. And you would have already gone through some large park gates. And then you're in this beautiful entry area. We're going to have some nice sort of themed buildings all the way around. Particularly through here. There'll be a little viewing window here out over the river. Some more buildings. We're going to have some stuff in the middle here. We're going to have an enclosure in the middle, I think, as well. But how cool to have this set up. We're going to have this little cute park entrance. This mini little one, which I quite like. And this will lead up to the monorail station that'll go off. I originally thought that would be fine. It's too low. It needs to be higher. I kind of really need it to be shooting out of that height there if I'm going to have one. But those stairs won't line up. And I don't want to do the steep stairs because those look so much nicer, those rolling stairs. So I might have them go rolling to there to get it out of the Main Street Plaza. And then have something like where it splits a set of stairs that double backs either side with an elevator in the middle. And then you can leave from there. I think that's the idea I'll probably go for. But yeah, this is the beginning of our theme park. How cool is this? Man, we've done so much in today's episode. So much. And I really have been trying to, like I said, make this feel like a world, get things together. Make it feel like we've got some iconography going. And I feel like with this, we are on the right path for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment of what your thoughts were below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've made it this far and not already a part of the family. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.